Greetings, fellow traders. How are you doing today? It is 8:30 p.m. July 20th. Just happens to be my birthday. And I was doing a webinar a little bit ago and moved the stream from 8 to 8:30. I think I changed it to 8:30 a few days ago on the schedule though. How's it going, Fiona? Thank you very much. Hey, Fiona, I think that somebody, you had added me on Facebook, I think, as a friend, but I think it was somebody else's account or something. I don't know, because you only had one friend on there or something. I don't know, just so you know. How's it going, MJK? Yo-Yo, the binary creator. Yo-Yo's got the dances going. I love it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I'm happy to meet you here for this Asian session review, a half hour later than scheduled. But we had to finish up that webinar. We got that all done. Of course, it was all related to Forex. Live and breathe the stuff. So before I show you where I'm at with things, I'm going to pull up the momentum meter here, just to give you a quick peek at it in case you don't have it on your chart. Strongest currency across the board, good old euro. Swiss is following close behind, as well as New Zealand. CAD's also got some strength, but if you look way up at the top here in the hourly, the euro is the highest, and the weakest currency all the way across the board is the pound. But the pound is also the one that tends to be regressing more towards the 20 moving average and tends to be rising a little bit more, where the Aussie's falling off, the euro is coming back. And again, remember, this is deviation from the 20 moving average is what makes these lines here. So again, euro strongest, Swiss, New Zealand, CAD, Aussie and yen weak, pound weak, but catching a little bit here. And I'm going to show you my insight on that. If we zoom this way out to a daily, the strongest currency across the board has been the Canadian dollar. And the weakest has been the yen, but it is now the USD coming up way down at the bottom here. So this is the daily time frame on these moving averages. And here's the 1 hour. Thanks, two-part. Good day, Jenny M. Nice to see you. So what I'm going to do is boil this right down and get down to business quickly. Let's do this. I'm going to change things up just a little bit. I'll make it go quick. Let's pull this up a little bit. So I'm sure you're all aware of the news if you've been trading the markets for some time. A lot of high impact news that came out yesterday on Wednesday. Today on Thursday, we had the Bank of Japan press conference. We had the Great British Pound retail sales that came out better than expected. The ECB, of course, kept their rates unchanged. The unemployment claims in the US were better than expected, but the Philly Fed really took a hit, 19.5, previous 27.6. The Philly Fed is the one that surprised me the most. If we pull in just a little bit on this Forex Factory histogram, you can see the Philly Fed has been dropping quite quick here. And if you're unfamiliar with the Philly Fed, you can pull it up, of course, in the explanation here. It says it's a survey of about 250 manufacturers in Philadelphia Federal Reserve District, which asks respondents to rate the relative level of business conditions. So it gives an outlook of manufacturing across the country by sampling businesses in Philadelphia. Unemployment claims, though, doing really well, falling. And those have been falling for a while. If I pull this way out, this is going back to 2010. Unemployment claims here in the US are doing quite well. The euro was the strongest currency, of course, across the day. I was reading through some of the news about Trump and Japan and some Australian news about bond yields, looking at Trump's Twitter feed, that type of thing. So to get into the trades, let's get down to business. Talk about making some money. Here we are. Here's the trades that I have going right now. I currently have a buy position in the Euro Aussie. If I zoom it down to the 15-minute, you can see this trade entry was taken around 142.21. My stops are down at 146. I'm going to be pulling them up now. I'm going to bring my stops up just a little bit below break even. I want to give it a little bit of room to breathe here. But we pulled out past the swing highs now. Swing highs on the Euro Aussie, of course, we're sitting at about 146.48. If we use the structure of the technical candlesticks and we look left, we do have this area of consolidation of price action going back on the hourly time frame that was right here in this area. And if we extend it way out, you know, we're sort of in that, but I think we're doing pretty well here on the Euro Aussie. RBI Assistant Governor DeBell is speaking at 10:40 p.m., so in about 2 hours. And RBI Assistant Governor Bullock is speaking at 11:15, so about 2.5, 3 hours from now. But Euro Aussie to the upside, I think, is looking pretty good right now. I've been watching this trade set up for a while, trying to find the right time to grab a piece. And I did that just a few hours ago, earlier today. I wasn't home. I wasn't able to post a trade idea with it. Currently up about 45 pips. I'm going to pull this up a little bit higher now. Just pushed up again. Looking at the 1 minute, just that last 1 minute candle was 14 pips to the upside. So looking pretty good on the Euro Aussie. 1.7 lots, Euro Aussie. $665 profit there. Going to let that baby run. I took my hit on the pound dollar and entered again long here. Where is my last trade where I got hit for my stop out? Where is it? Right here. So this is the trade idea that I had posted, and it hit my stop way down deep, 49 pips or so. This trade was going for quite a while. I mean, this thing ran how many hours? 40 hours. I was talking with another trader about this area, and we were watching this trend line right here to see if it would break. But again, I was not in front of my computer at the time to update the trade idea, to say to watch this level or to possibly get out. So I just let my stop go. My stop was only, 20 pips down, which is, still quite a bit. But got to take it the way it is, right? Move on to the next. All transparent honesty here. So right now I'm long on the pound dollar. I'm just going to show you what trades I'm in here first, and then we'll discuss things a little. 29.74 or so is my entry. Currently down about 15 pips. I'm going to keep my stop where it is, which is right down at the swing lows. That's quite a decent stop on the pound dollar still. 40-some pips stop. I also have a long on the pound yen, which is pretty flat at the moment. Let me boil her down to the 15-minute. So right now, my buy position on the pound yen, 145.13. And I have another buy position. This was one that I stair-stepped into a little. This is actually bought way down here, 144.80. So you can see the two buy lines here. The one is behind my video, my face here. If I move my face out of the way, you can see the two buy areas right down here. So I put 1.7 lots first, and then whenever I pyramid or stair step in or add to a trade, I always put a smaller order, generally a half, roughly, maybe a third of the size, and I just chose one standard lot. I moved my stops up from the first one. I think my stop on this was around 35, 45 pips in the beginning, and now my stop is actually only 3 pips on the first order, and about 36 to 37 pips on the second. So my overall risk with both of these orders on is almost exactly the same risk that I had with the first larger order on that is now taken away. So between these two trades, I pull up my terminal here. Between these two trades, let's see, symbol. So the 1.7 lot, the first order down here, is up $450. The one lot order here is down $29. So a net profit around $420, right where the price action is now. So I'm looking for this to hopefully continue upwards. I'd like to see this level here hold. 144.98. We'll call it 145. That's the big psychological number, of course, here on the pound yen. Let's put it right around here, 145. So, of course, I would love to see this thing push up, have a little retracement, and then head up to the moon. U.S. stock markets today were a little bit mixed, right? We had the NASDAQ up 5 points, the S&P flat, the Dow down 30 points. Sort of a little whipsaw-y day on the back of some more drama coming out of the Trump camp. But as long as the stock market continues to be up around the highs, we have this risk on. I'm assuming the yen pair will continue to weaken. The yen currency will continue to weaken. And my targets here are another 45, 50 pips. I'd like to zoom this out and show you a level I've been watching here. This is not an exact trend line, but you get a rough idea of where I'm at. And my target on this trade, I had this drawn on my other brokerage account, I apologize, but it was around 146. Yeah, so that's roughly what my target is. So 146 is another 80 some pips up. If we can get 20, 30 pips above current price action now, maybe get up to 145.30s, I'd be pretty happy pulling both of the stops up together to around 145, the swing lows that we have here in the hourly and the pound yen. So I'm going to be moving both of my stops in tandem with one another, up as price action goes up. I think it's looking pretty good. So again, I'm just sort of quickly going through here to show you where I'm at with things. So I have two orders long pound yen. One is down deeper, one's up higher with a smaller order size. Those are up about $500 right now. The Euro Aussie is up 620. And then I have my long pound dollar that's down 260. And I also have one more trade long on the dollar yen. Where's my dollar yen? Right here. Of course, the trade ideas I've been posting here haven't been doing good the last week, but these trades I took, of course, on my birthday are doing better. But I wasn't here to put the trade ideas in. So I'm covering them with you now. If you want to take them, feel free. Some of these are, like the pound dollar, are slightly negative. If you did take them, you get a little better entry than me. I like this area on the dollar yen to the upside for a lot of reasons. One of them is this one. Now, this is the weekly, we're going way out here on the weekly, but we're putting in higher lows. We're also putting in slightly higher highs here. We're breaking the structure that has come down. Again, this is the weekly time frame, so we're zooming it out quite a bit. You can connect it here, you could connect it here, however you like. Let's just delete that line for now. And the other one was coming up this way. So we're putting in the higher lows, putting in higher highs right up at this tip here. Let me get rid of this line here. And I like dollar yen to the upside. I just like the yen's weakening. So pound yen, dollar yen, euro yen, Aussie yen, you got to pick your favorite. The other thing I was looking at earlier was the fib levels. This is a daily chart of the dollar yen. We came right down into the 50% area. You can see that pretty clearly here. This is our 50% level. This is a retracement from back in June all the way up to the swing high that we put in on July 11th. This is also an area of consolidation of price that we've seen before. If you look left on this daily chart, you can see all these wicks that were put in here in the end of June. And then we also have some wicks way off to the left that were put in sort of toppy in the middle end of May 24th in this area. And we're right back in this area again. So I like the dollar yen to the upside right now. But if it goes down beneath the 50 fib, which just so you can see it on the chart a little bit better, this 50 fib level is around 111.65. If we get down beneath that, and it's not that far away, we're talking 35, 40 pips. If we break beneath this, all bets are off for the dollar yen. We could see it push lower, but I'm going to like it to the upside. So let's boil this down a little bit more. Here's the 4 hour. I like to watch these on the hourly. So I'm hoping this dollar yen pushes up. The key level for me is the same one for a lot of you traders that are trading the dollar yen to the upside, 112.40. I don't have a target on this one yet. My plan was through the analysis during this live stream to come up with a target with you together. 112.40 is just not enough for me to be real excited about this. Maybe I'd pull my stop up a little bit more at that point. I don't like to keep my stops too close. So that's what I have in a nutshell. Shrink this down here. This as well. Euro Aussie still doing great. Get everything reset here. Okay, so that's what I have. Those are my open trades, my open live trades right now. I have a buy on pound dollar, a buy on the pound yen, 2 buys on the pound yen. One's in nice profit, one's about break even. I have a long buy on the dollar yen and a long on the Euro Aussie, which is doing pretty well here. Up around 50 pips or so. 50 pips? Yeah, 50, 48, 50. I do not think it's too late to get in on that train. We can see the Aussie buck losing a little steam here, pushing down. We know the euro has been strong today. I think that will continue for the duration of the week, you know, the next day. I think the Aussie is, I hate to say due, but that's the word that's coming out of my mouth. I think the Aussie is due for a little pullback. Even if we get it to pull back down to 78.40s, you know, 80 pips still a long ways. You can see it pushing down here on the 1 minute chart. Still pressing down pretty nicely on the Aussie dollar. While the euro dollar is flat. There's the 1 minute chart. So that equals a nice push up for our Euro Aussie, of course. Yeah, that last 1 minute candle was another 10, 11 pips. So looking pretty good here. Euro Aussie long. Pound dollar long, yeah. Yeah, it burnt me earlier. I'm not a big fan of the pound dollar, as you probably know. But I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. I'm avoiding gold and silver right now. I'm not in any Canadian dollar-based pairs. Crude oil really caught a bid here in the last couple of days. And sitting at 46.90. I think crude is going to continue to push lower from this point. We have, you know, a little possible rejection candle here at the top on the daily time frame. And we do have this very relatively smooth, straight up sort of trend line here rising on crude. It'll be interesting to see if it chops around or if it breaks down. So for those reasons, I'm not trading the Canadian dollar right now. Just a little bit too much uncertainty for me either way. I'm more interested in Aussie weakness, yen weakness across the board. Let's take a look at the chat room here. Sorry, guys, in Garrels. Barnacle. Sorry, Jason. Yeah, you got it, Barnacle. Tell me to go to sleep. Why I hate Thursdays. We only have one trading day left in the week. Why I love Thursday. My favorite trader and streamer streams. Oh, you're so nice, the binary creator. Very nice. I'm here embodying mine. Yeah, you guys are good. You guys are so nice always. Always so friendly, so nice. Such a joy to be here with everybody. I have to be honest, I do miss doing the Asian live streams every night, but once I get here and have the time and sit, I really like doing them because it is rewarding. The market's relatively muted, a little bit more quiet, right? We can plan things a little more. We don't have the big impulsive moves, you know, on the pound dollar, for example, 20, 30, 40 pips here, up and down every 5 minutes, like in the London session. Sort of like a peaceful, just sitting in a hammock, relaxing, looking at some laptop or at an iPad, just looking about the trades, reviewing things together. No pressure. Looking at the euro pound here now. The euro pound to me, and I don't think it's just me, I think it's a lot of traders, it's looking a little toppy, right? We're coming up on a huge figure, 0.9. Right where this black line is. 90 cents coming up on the euro pound. A lot of consolidation around that area in the past, going back till the end of 16. We pull way out. Take a look at this weekly chart here. This is going back to February of 2013 and where the euro pound has been. If we look at the monthly, you can see we're also at some areas where, now I'm talking hundreds of pips variance here, but generally speaking on the monthly, you know, we're coming up around the highs here. This is zoomed all the way back out to 1994. So after you look at these charts for thousands of hours for over a decade, you try to get your bearings on the long term, you know, where are we? And you try to, at least me, I try to cut out the fundamentals. I try to cut out the Brexit. I try to cut out all the stuff with Theresa May and the vote and the hung parliament. And I try to cut out all that stuff, the euro stuff that was going on this morning, the interest rates, all that, and just look at the technical charts. You know, where do we expect to be? Where have we been before? What are the odds that we're going to break into the newest highs of all time right now? Or is it more likely that we're going to regress back to the, you know, the Fibonacci retracement of this whole entire, you know, few decades? Yeah. Hey, thanks for the birthday wish. Thanks a lot, Sniper. Appreciate it. How's it going, Austin Phillips? ATXFX, how's it going, my friend? At Jason, I'm on the same time zone as you. Do you trade the Asian session consistently? I get a piece of London and New York in the morning, but not too much trading at night. Yeah, I mean, such a loaded statement, right? I look at the charts the most during Asian session because that's the time when I'm around the most. I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, if you watch the lesson that I did earlier this week, you know, I brought up, I think it was this week or last week when I did it, we talked about some of us traders moving to Hawaii so we can be in a more active time zone. You know, London session is the hardest thing to trade. I mean, I can stay up as late as anybody else or get up as early as anybody else can. But 2 a.m., 3 a.m., when London starts kicking off, that's like the dead center of the night, right? I mean, that's really tough. So I much prefer to be out of the market and get up really early than hanging on to trades at night and, you know, letting them go throughout the night, which I do all the time. But I'd rather put on fresh ones in the morning where I can keep an eye on the news and things. But that's right. I mean, U.S. session, London session closed, U.S. session open, U.S. session. But Asian session is the one that I'm the most active in because that's a time where, you know, people are around. Most people are home for the evenings watching TV and relaxing, eating dinner, getting ready for bed, looking at charts, dreaming big, thinking about how they're going to change the world. It's true. So what do I think about Euro Pound? Man, it's an uptrend if I've ever seen one, right? But I think the thing is toppy. I'm not saying it's going to free fall, but this is an overextension. I mean, Euro Pound does not usually put off 130 some pip moves. So, you know, I'm not telling you to sell it here, but I'm telling you and showing you that I'm buying the pound right now, buying the pound dollar, buying the pound yen. I think we're going to see a little bit of a retracement on the Euro Pound. How far we're going to go? Really tough to call. I mean, it might only come down to the swing highs here. It could come down to these swing lows here. So from current price action, we're looking at 20 pips to 60 pips. You can use your fib levels and try to get some confluence of price action in there. Some psychological numbers are coming up in there, like 89. You know, everything I know about technical analysis is saying this thing's just going to continue to bust out. And mark my words on this. In the next 30 pips, if it does continue to go up, you're going to see some impulsivity to the upside. That's probably what's going to happen. Now, nobody knows. You know, we could just come up shy of 90 and then it could fall 300 pips. You know, I don't know. But my gut feeling after watching all these charts for this long is if we creep up and retrace and creep up and we hit that 90 level, I think that a lot of stops are going to get hit from people who are selling. There's going to be a lot of buy pending orders that get triggered. I think we're going to see a little volatility in that. So generally speaking, now this is a big statement, but generally speaking, you know, the euro will move the euro pound, or the pound will move the euro pound. But when the euro pound gets around these new highs and these big technical numbers like 0.90000, the simple cross itself can help to move the euro dollar and pound dollar. And you'll read that when you read blogs and watch other analysts. They'll say, you know, the helping of the euro Aussie up and the euro, you know, but it is what it is. You make it out to be what it is. But I really feel like the euro pound, if it does go up this 30 pips, it's going to go up a lot more. If it doesn't make it there, we're going to see a nice retracement. So yeah, it's sort of a two-handed scientist, you know. It should do this, but it could do this. It's sort of wishy-washy, which is why I'm not in it. So I'm not trying to confuse you. I'm not trying to be the, you know, the second-guessing, undecisive guy. I'm showing you what trades I have on in real time, and I'm not in the euro pound because of that. That's the uncertainty that's in my mind. Much more confident in the euro Aussie long. The pound yen long is looking nicer and nicer now. Starting to push up. If I can get rid of that. There we go. 5 minutes. So my one trade now is up 37, and the second one is up about 4. I think that warrants pulling up the stops just a little bit higher on both of them. So I'm going to do that now. I don't want to encroach in any kind of organic movement that this pair might have. Nothing too aggressive here. Just controlling risk. I'm sure you've all heard it a million times. One of the best ways to trade is just to lose less. And that's what I just did. So actually, that's not my stop. My stop is up here. Come on, Betsy. There we go. So my stop right now on the pound yen long is at around 144.87. About 30 pips from current price action. So aside from the pound dollar trade idea loss that I had yesterday, I think it stopped out, yeah, yesterday overnight. The trades I have right now, Euro Aussie, 2 on the pound yen, 1 on the pound dollar, 1 on the dollar yen, all buys. They're up 8.42 and 72 cents. So, yeah, going okay. Yeah, constantly. You know what's interesting? I saw your trade ideas, and I was looking at which trade ideas to give hearts to, and I noticed that most of the trades that are posted are opposite of what I'm doing. I saw Kitchy's pound yen short. I was going to click like, but I'm like, okay, I'm long. I'm not going to love it because I'm opposite, which is what makes the market. There's nothing wrong with that. And I saw your Euro Aussie short, Euro dollar short. Andrew has dollar yen short. I think he hit profit on that one earlier. I think that trade already profited out. Cool. UJG trying to pick bottoms on lower time frame. Yeah, constantly. You do some good trades. I got to give you some props. Got respect for you there. Trying to pick bottoms in lower time frames. Yeah, I can see the we cut down to the 5 minute on like the dollar yen. You know, starting to creep up a little bit. Taking Euro Aussie short here. Cool. Let's take a look at Euro Aussie. My absolute favorite pair to trade. Absolute favorite pair. Made me the most money in my trading career from the beginning to now. What I like about the Euro Aussie is the moves and how smooth they can be. I like how the Euro Aussie does not have the USD in it and that uncertainty that the US dollar and the volatility that it brings. I like that we get nice smooth moves. However, the Euro Aussie has pushed up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 solid blue candles on the 4-hour time frame. And we are just bouncing off of the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement of this whole move down, coming up from 150.75 all the way down to the swing low that we had around 44.20, 1.4420. We also have this area here. Might not be exact on your broker's platform. I'm just bringing up reasons to be short Euro Aussie and what I would see as far as potential reasons to get short. We have this descending trend line here, along with the 38.2. We do have some confluence there. And right now we're about 40 some pips from my stop. So what I'm going to do on this is I'm going to pull it up a little bit higher. I want to make sure and give this pair enough room to pull down a little bit, especially to the swing highs that were put in here, including the spread. So we'll just give it 10 pips. So what I'm going to do is leave this, lock in about 15 pips of profit on Euro Aussie long, and I'm going to let this baby run. So I'm either going to have 15 pips of profit, or we're going to push up, I think, to the 50 fib, which is another 65, 75 pips to the upside. We'll have to see how it goes. That's why I like when we discuss opposite sides of the trade. I like how it makes the market. We also have this level down here that I think I talked about a little earlier. This swing low here, 46.80. So this is the sweet spot. Right here. This is the sweet spot on the Euro Aussie right now. We have a wick that came in at 46.80. Way back over here. Let me stop my chart here. Way over here on June 27th. We also have the 38.2 fib of this entire move. And we have this descending trend line that has been broken. Maybe it's a fake out to the upside. But this area that we're in right here, I think is the key area to watch on the Euro Aussie. If you believe it's going up, I think you got a pretty safe bet to be long around 46.50s. If it breaks down too far beneath that, 10, 12 pips, then I'm going to be out with my profit of about 15 pips. So this gray box is the area of indecision. And the gray box here is, you know, a total of about 40 pips. So it's got some room to play in there. We'll see how she bounces around. Right on, Earbus, the two Aussie speakers. Those I mentioned earlier, DeBell and Bullock. Coming up in about an hour and a half, I believe. Hour and 40 minutes for the first one. Yeah. Taking a short. Target is 46. Good luck with that one. 66 pip. I like this retrace nicely. Right. Yeah, and like I was just covering, there are several reasons to be selling the Euro Aussie right here. Don't get me wrong. Descending trend line, Fibonacci level, resistance level. A nice move up. I mean, the Euro Aussie, 250 pip moves, pretty standard. You can find several of them here in the not too distance past. You know. And this isn't anything exact. I'm just sort of, as you can see that cursor moving, I'm just looking at some of the bigger moves. We have 280 pips there from swing high to swing low, 250 pips here. This last one, 250 pips. So there's no doubt that the Euro Aussie is due for a little retracement. But I'm long. I'm in profit. I'm going to keep it rolling. Up about 40 pips, give or take a few. I'm going to lock in 15. See how she blows. The Aussie, as you may know, if it does get some strength, it does get strength a lot of times during the Asian session. Pound dollar is coming back around a little bit. Silver and gold. You know, gold is in a really tough place for me to try to get some kind of a decision here. 12.45.12. I mean, for me, if you just look at the technicals of gold, nothing else, just the technicals at this zoomed out daily chart that goes all the way back to 2015. This is just, I mean, we're way up from the bottoms, we're way down from the lows, we're way down from the highs, I'm sorry, way up from the bottoms. This has been a sticky area before, many times here. It's just a, you know, if I had to pick a direction, I would pick up on silver and gold. Well, silver had that big push down, that sort of fat finger thing that went on July 7th. And it's been recovering pretty nicely, 1633 right now on silver. Still beat way down. But my bias on silver and gold is to the upside, but not enough bias for me to be confident enough to put on a trade of my own. Oh, hey, Airbus. Missed the first part of the stream. The page was stuck. Yeah, sorry about that if you got stuck with it. For some reason, when I'm watching my own stream here, when I'm just making sure it's running, it does lock up quite a bit. Sometimes I got to go over to YouTube to watch that. A lot of little squawks coming across. Australia to sell 700 million of 2.25% May 2028 bonds. There's a post here, RBC Capital Markets on gold. Gold market is walking a fine line. That's just what we talked about. It's really sort of in the middle of nowhere land, at least in my opinion. Longer term type stuff. All right, guys and girls, I'm going to give you a quick summary, and I'm going to sign off for the evening and grab a little bite to eat for the rest of my birthday here. I have 5 trades going. 2 are long on the pound yen, up a total of about $410 on those 2. Euro Aussie long is up 573. Pound dollar long is down 125, and my dollar yen trade is down about 270. You can see it down here in the corner. I covered all my stops and all my areas. If you did miss them, feel free to check them out on the stream. You can see them all here. If you want to take a closer look, you can just pause the screen here. You can see where my stops are, where my 2 entries are on the pound yen. And you can see the levels that I have here on the dollar yen long. My stop is right about 111.72. I don't have a profit target on these yet. Pound dollar is here. Stop at 129.31, entry at 129.74. If you believe in this trade, not saying you should, but if you believe in it and you got in, you get about a 9 pip better entry than I have. And then, of course, I have the Euro Aussie long here that we've been talking about. Again, we expect a little retracement. Interesting to see what happens with it. Got 15 pips of profit locked in. Maybe 18. So we'll see how it goes. On to the next trading session. Make it a great rest of the day or night wherever you are in the world. If you need anything, feel free to email me, jason@forexsignals.com, or you can ping a little note in. I was talking to Nick a little earlier. He said, don't be afraid to remind them about the free $50 account at Blueberry Markets. You can find that if you click, let's see, where is it here? The top left of this page, it says open a broker account. It's like the 4th one down. You can click on Blueberry Markets. They don't take US clients, but you do get a $50 free live money account if you open up a live account with them. There's only one restriction, and it's actually somewhat realistic. They have to trade 1 standard lot to get that money out. So 1 standard lot's a lot for 50 bucks, but you know, obviously they're hoping that you fund the account and then you get the free $50. So I thought I'd at least bring that up with you. If you need anything, let me know. Yeah, have a good one. Have a good one. Let's see. Euro Aussie, down she goes. Yeah, 10 pips. We'll see. We'll see where she goes. She could go down. Either way, I'm happy with it. Yeah, Yo-Yo, thanks a lot for you as well. Yeah, thanks, Barnacle. Nice to see you all. Have a great day. Happy trading. Be safe. Take care.